I got to witness it all firsthand. The lies I was told, and I'm so happy I have witnesses to everything I've been through. Dinners at Catch, you know.
Liz Cambage just came out swinging after ditching retirement. And trust, she's not here to play nice. She finally dropped the truth about why she really vanished from the WNBA. And it's way messier than anyone guessed. That whole tale about her losing control and retiring in shame? Yeah, total fiction. Cooked up by the WNBA's own PR machine. But here's where it gets wild. It's not just about who made that story up. It's why they felt the need to do it. And if you were one of the people who thought her sudden exit had something to do with Brittney Griner's return, you might have been right the whole time. Word on the street is the league went full defense mode for Brittney, even if that meant tossing Liz to the side. And Liz, she didn't just walk out on her own, she got pushed out. But here's the thing, she never planned to go out quiet. Now Liz is back, and she's not just trying to set the record straight, she's here to shake things up. She's done letting folks rewrite her story, and she's ready to drag every secret the league tried to hide out into the open. And if some big names gotta take the fall in the process, that's just the price of truth. When Liz started speaking online, she lit the whole thing on fire. That retirement story? Fake from the jump. She didn't fade away, she got shoved out, and now she's demanding answers.
I don't appreciate the lies. Don't you ever get sick of lying on my name? Like, sheesh. Don't you have anything else better to talk?
And maybe ready to drop some bombshells too. Liz Cambage had been laying low for a while, staying off the WNBA radar, posting on OnlyFans, and keeping out of the mess. Or so everybody thought. But now, she's breaking her silence. And what she's revealing just flipped the whole story upside down. See, the official word was that Liz's name got too toxic after that intense clash with the Nigerian basketball team. They claimed she was just too controversial for the league's image. But Liz, she says that was all a cover-up. She dropped the bomb during a no-holds-barred interview with Taylor Rooks on Bleacher Report, and people were left stunned. According to Liz, the WNBA set her up, just to protect Brittney Griner. Sounds unreal, right? But wait. It goes even deeper. Liz says the whole Nigeria situation was blown way out of proportion just to make her look like the villain. That way, the league could push her out quietly while saving face. Remember that pre-Olympic scrimmage back in 2021? Social media exploded. Headlines were flying, claiming Liz called Nigerian players monkeys and told them to go back to their third world country. The backlash was insane. But Liz, she's saying it loud now. It was all made up. She swears she never used any slurs. Liz made it clear she stands proud as a pro-black woman and said there's no way she'd ever speak like that. According to her, this wasn't some scandal. It was politics, plain and simple. She says she got caught in a dirty game where her image was sacrificed to protect someone else's spotlight, and now she's ready to clear her name for real. Sure, some folks are quick to roll their eyes and say Liz is just trying to clean up her name, but others? They've started digging into the receipts. And guess what they found? Footage from that 2021 scrimmage is out there, and it shows Liz wasn't the only one caught in that chaos. She wasn't the only one throwing hands, and definitely not the only one talking trash.
This one girl that's been saying that I called them monkeys, N-words, like, that's not, I'll call you a dumb bitch. That's what I say to people when we get into it. I don't really lean towards racially, backed, like, insults. That's not how I go. I'm very pro-black.
So you maintain that you did not say
I did not say
these
these to these girls. This girl that's saying all these things, right, had a lot to say about me. Leak the tapes. I've never owned the tapes. Leak the tapes. Y'all want to see the truth? Leak the tapes. Everyone in Australia has seen the tape. Still lying about what's on these tapes. Leak the tapes.
So I guess that still does, beg the question, because at the end of the day, it is one person saying that you said one thing, one person saying they didn't, and the truth is somewhere in there, and only people that know are the people that were there.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just why? Why would something as bad as this happen?
Because the truth looks a lot worse for other organizations involved than using me as a scapegoat. Like, why does Nigeria want me to leave Australia and go represent them? Why are we about to...
You're saying right now?
We're filing for me to leave the Australian team so I can represent Nigeria.
Because Nigeria would like you to join the team?
I've been in cahoots. I've been talking with them since all of this happened. This is what I mean. People don't know. People don't know the truth. No, I honestly haven't had one journalist that's written all these lies.
At first glance, it just looked like another scrimmage that got too heated. Players talking smack, tempers running wild. Happens all the time, right? And yeah, no one's denying Liz Cambage has had her fair share of intense moments on and off the court. But that incident? Liz is now saying it wasn't just about a game gone sideways. She claims it was a setup from the jump. She later found out she was being lined up as the scapegoat, pegged to take the fall for something way bigger than just a courtside brawl. And how it all unfolded? Way too shady. You know what really raised red flags? When a player from the other team came at her physically, and not a single one of her teammates stepped up. Not one. That silence was louder than anything, and it screamed that something deeper was going on behind the scenes. But the story doesn't end there. Things took an even wilder turn. It took Liz some time to piece it all together, but when she did, it hit like a truck. That 2021 mess? It wasn't the first time she'd been pushed into reacting. She says the pressure had been building long before that, with certain players and even execs low-key testing her limits. And here's when it all really started to unravel. When Liz opened up about what went down with the Los Angeles Sparks in 2022, that contract she had, it was stacked. $170,000 salary, a car, rent paid, and a bunch of perks on top. But behind the scenes, something shady went down, and Liz wasn't about to let it slide. Liz Cambage thought she hit the jackpot when she signed with the LA Sparks. But the second that ink dried, she realized she'd been sold a straight-up Hollywood dream that turned into a nightmare. What looked like a sweet deal, with a car, free rent, and extra perks, ended up being smoke and mirrors.
I kept LA as the pinnacle of my dream, even though a lot of people warned me about playing for that club, and I got to witness it all firsthand. The lies I was told, and I'm so happy I have witnesses to everything I've been through. Dinners at Catch, with GMs and ownership telling me they were gonna get me a G-Wagon.
And ownership told you they were gonna get you a G-Wagon if you came to the Sparks.
We'll sell you with any car you want. I'm talking G-Wagons. If you said maybe we'll get you a GLE. We're gonna help you extra, paying your rent in Bel Air. We're gonna pay off your coaches, your medical stuff. Did any of that happen? No. So you brought me here on lies. I'm dealing with, a lot of disrespect, a lot of turbulent players in the change room, the locker rooms, and I'm telling the GM, I'm telling coaches, I'm telling the ownership what's going on. No one cares. No one cares. So I'm not the type of girl that's gonna sit in a disrespectful anything. Relationship, workspace, anything. I'ma leave. There's one thing I'ma do, I'ma leave if I'm uncomfortable, and that's what I did.
Turns out the WNBA labeled all those benefits impermissible. So guess what? She didn't get any of it. And if getting played on the contract wasn't bad enough, what went down behind closed doors was even worse. Liz says the way she was treated by staff and teammates was straight up cold. From day one, she felt pushed out, disrespected, ignored, and treated like she didn't belong. The vibe? Toxic. She said her time with the Sparks broke her down like never before. She hit rock bottom. And after filing multiple complaints, hoping someone would step in, all she got was silence. No support, no help, nothing but cold stares and fake smiles. She eventually had to bounce mid-season just to save herself from what she now calls a straight-up toxic mess. But here's where it gets real shady. While Liz was getting the cold shoulder, she says other players on that same squad were living good, getting way more perks than she ever asked for. So what's the deal? According to Liz, it didn't feel like just random drama. It felt personal. She says she was turned into the scapegoat with no real reason behind it. And now, looking back, all the pieces line up. The gaslighting, the sneaky comments, the fake love, none of it was by accident. It was all part of the setup. And Liz is finally calling it out. Liz Cambage says the whole thing felt like a setup, a slow, calculated game to push her past her breaking point. That way, when she finally reacted, they'd have the perfect excuse to cut her loose, without ever saying the real reason out loud, to keep Brittney Griner untouchable and fully protected. But here's the question that's got people talking. Why would the WNBA risk its own reputation just to shield one player? Why was Liz the one thrown to the wolves so Brittney could stay spotless? Now, let's be real. The rumors have been out there for a while. Whispers about Brittney's identity have been floating around online, with fans pointing out things they say seem different. Her appearance, her size, even the way she moves on the court. Some folks claim it all sets her apart from the rest of the league. And what's making people raise their eyebrows even more? The way the league seems to turn a blind eye. Every WNBA player is supposed to go through the same testing and regulations before they suit up. But Brittney's name? Never questioned. Never touched. It's got fans wondering what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a growing crowd out there asking for transparency, demanding a deeper look into whether some players, especially stars like Brittney, might have physical advantages that aren't being publicly addressed.
I don't understand the media constantly trying to twist the things I say into a negative way when all I want is better for women. I really don't understand it.
And while Liz never directly pointed fingers at Brittney in that way, she's made it clear something about the way this league operates doesn't add up, and she's not afraid to say it out loud anymore. But the WNBA, still dead silent. No response, no action, just crickets. And that silence? It's got a lot of people thinking the league might be hiding something. Like they're purposely keeping things hush-hush to protect Brittney Griner from getting dragged. But the big question remains, why? Some say it all comes down to image. The WNBA's been trying to brand itself as super progressive, big on inclusivity, especially when it comes to LGBTQ+ and trans athletes. That sounds like a good thing, right? But not everyone's feeling the love. More and more players are starting to say they're getting pushed aside. Not because they lack talent, but because the league's focused on keeping its woke rep. Even former stars are speaking up. Two-time national champ Val Whiting didn't hold back. She said she's been hearing from her peers, and a lot of my basketball sisters feel ignored, mistreated, or quietly benched just so the league can keep the spotlight where they want it. Some might not agree, but there's a growing chorus in the hoops world saying it doesn't feel fair or even safe when trans women compete in women's sports. People aren't trying to cancel anyone or say trans athletes don't belong. They just want a solution that works for everybody. Because when inclusivity starts pushing biological women out of the game they've worked their whole lives for, that's where the line gets blurry. And when it comes to Brittney Griner, fans have definitely noticed something shady. She's been skating by on stuff that would have ended other players immediately. Like when she got caught on camera calling Caitlin Clark a slur, millions saw it clear as day. No league response, no suspension, no public apology, just a clip of Brittney brushing it off like we didn't all watch it go down live. Now imagine if Caitlin Clark had said that to Brittney Griner instead. It would have been over in a heartbeat. The WNBA would have hit full-blown damage control. Headlines, suspensions, interviews, the whole machine would have kicked in to drag her name through the mud and probably run her out the league. Fans are calling it like they see it. This double standard is loud, and nobody's staying quiet anymore. Same thing went down with Liz Cambage. That whole drama with the Nigerian team, even though she was physically attacked on camera and made it crystal clear she never used any slurs, the league still painted her as the villain and sent her packing. No real investigation, no receipts, just judgment and a fast track to cancellation. People online are connecting the dots. One user on Twitter said it straight up. They kicked Liz Cambage and Chennedy Carter out the league for stuff they're letting old girls slide on. And honestly, they're not wrong. It's getting clearer by the day. The folks who wanted Liz gone were never about fairness or keeping the game clean. They were covering their backs, protecting certain faces, and making sure no one looked too close at the real mess behind the scenes. Let's be real, Liz Cambage never wanted to leave. That walkout, it broke her. Her own teammates were crying when she left. That says it all. And the fans? They've been begging for her return ever since. One even posted, "Liz is the exact energy the league is missing. That edge, that spark, that tension that makes people watch." "Where's Liz Cambage when you need her?" they asked, and they meant it. Another fan jumped in and said, "Could you imagine Liz Cambage on a team in today's WNBA?" They weren't kidding. New fans wouldn't be ready for the heat Liz brings every time she steps on the court. The crowd wants her back. The game needs that fire. So why is she still being painted like she's the problem? Let's be real, Liz does come with some drama, no one's denying that. Since getting drafted in 2011, she's bounced through 12 squads, 4 in the WNBA and the rest overseas, hitting up China, Australia, and Israel. And yeah, she's never done back-to-back seasons on the same roster, but here's the twist. That's not even unusual in women's pro ball. Plenty of female players jump from team to team, chasing the bag and building their careers overseas. But when Liz does it, it's controversial. When others do it, it's just called the hustle. The double standard is wild. And the backlash? It runs deep. Liz has been slammed harder than players who've been caught doing actual illegal stuff. People haven't forgotten what happened with Brittney Griner, arrested, charged, and locked up overseas for carrying banned substances. But she came back to a hero's welcome, while Liz got labeled a villain for way less. At this point, it's pretty clear. Liz wasn't just seen as difficult, she was targeted. She had the attitude, the height, the confidence, and that made her the perfect scapegoat. While the league worked overtime to protect its golden faces, Liz became the one they could throw to the wolves whenever things got too messy behind the scenes. The league needed a distraction, and Liz Cambage was the one they chose to take the fall. The spotlight might still be shining on Brittney Griner, but the real question everyone's asking now is this: how did the WNBA manage to push Liz Cambage out just to keep Brittney protected? And no one said a thing for years? It slid under the radar without a peep. But now, people are waking up, connecting the dots, and demanding real answers. And let's be real, this might be the moment for Liz to come back and shake the whole league to its core. She's not just floating the idea of a return, she's plotting a comeback that could flip the WNBA upside down. And best believe, Liz ain't coming back empty-handed. Word on the street is she's got receipts. Real ones. Names, timelines, behind-the-scenes dirt, everything the league tried to keep buried to protect their favorites. If she spills what she's holding, it's game over for a lot of people. And this time, the league won't be able to sweep it under the rug. So don't just scroll past. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment with your take on all this wild drama. And hey, share this video with someone who still thinks Liz Cambage was the problem. We'll catch you in the next one. And trust us, you do not want to miss what's coming next.